Okay, so welcome to our preview daily challenge for our day 3. So in today's practice, we are going to look at more about trigonometric functions and also about the radian measure, because this will turn out to be also a very important concept in polar equations and also the other topics in pre-calculus. Alright, so let's take a look on the first one. So for the first one here, we are going to convert this radian measure into just the degree measure. So in this case here, just remember that the pi is equivalent to 180 degrees in the degree measure. So in this conversion, we will just have a 180 degrees divided by 9, which equals a 20 degrees. So after the conversion, this angle will be 20 degrees. And for the second one here, similarly, we know that every 180 degrees is going to be a pi. So we can just take this 315 degrees divided by 180 degrees to see how many of the 180 do we have, and then multiply by the pi. So after we do this simplification, this will be a 7 over 4 multiplied by pi, and therefore it will be the answer choice C. Okay, so that will be the first two questions. And then for the next one here, we want to see which of the following angle is in the second quadrant. So to tell this here, it would just be better to make a graph and see if we can just graph all these angles here. So you can see that if we draw out a coordinates plane here, the first angle will be negative. So we have a negative of negative 8 over 3 pi. So we are going to do the rotation here for 1, and then for 2 pi's here, right? So we're going to do rotation for 2 pi's, and then we have to rotate for another negative 2 over 3 times the pi. So it will end up over here, something like this. So this will be our negative 8 over 3 times pi. So this will be used when you have any angles that's greater than 2 pi. So you can see here, this will be the same as negative 2 pi and minus 2 over 3 times the pi, right? So this will be where the angle is at. And then we can go to the next one. So if we also find the other one here, it will be larger than a negative pi. So I mean like greater than negative pi, and then we have another 1 over 6 times pi. So we are going to do rotation for half of the rotation, and then for another pi over 6. So the angle will be negative 7 pi over 6. All right, so we can see here this angle is already in the second quadrant, so this will be the one we are looking for. But now we can also look for the other choices here. So the 7 pi over 6 is definitely not in the second quadrant because it's the opposite of the choice B. So it will be in the third quadrant. And then for the choice D here, it's going to be a positive angle. So we are going to do rotation for a half of the rotation for a like 3 over 3 times the pi, and then for another 2 over 3 times pi, we should be end up over here, right, for this angle. So we know it's also not in the second quadrant. So we only have the answer choice B. Okay, and then for the problem 4 and 5, we are going to find the reference angle of these two angles. So the definition of the reference angle is the angle formed by the terminal side and also with the x-axis, and the reference angle should be an acute angle so that we can take the reference. So for the first one here, we have the theta equals 120 degrees. So in this case, this angle will be 120 degrees. So the reference angle over here is going to be 180 minus 120, which is equal to 60 degrees. And then for the problem 5 here, the angle is negative 30 degrees. So it's going to be the other option over here. And this will be our angle 30 degrees. And you can see here, the acute angle formed by the terminal side and also with the x-axis will just be a 30 degrees. So to tell the reference angle, the fastest way is just to draw a graph and find this acute angle. Alright, so that would be it for the daily practice today.